everybody, I'm Poppy.
I'm Ditto.
I am Serena.
And I am Lemon, and this is the Witches Brew.
So today's topic is going to be more on the supernatural side.
Compared to last week's death and murder.
Today we are going to be talking, or at least I'm going to be talking about haunted bridges around the country, but if you guys want to open it up to different haunted places that you want to talk about, that's fine by me.
Cool.
Or I know Ditto wants to debunk supernatural things, so he can do that. He can do that if he wants to. I'm not going to stop him. Okay, so first we're going to talk about crybaby bridges. There are multiple throughout the country, but the one that Ditto actually brought my attention to, because he helped me research this, is there is actually one near our college.
Whoa.
That I want to go visit. So we might have to do that.
Road trip.
I would be totally down for that.
The one down by our college, I'm not going to disclose the college, but
That might be a smart idea,
it is a single lane steel bridge. So there was the original bridge, but it has lost to time, so we don't know where the original bridge is. We don't know where the original bridge is. So the single lane steel bridge, you're only allowed one car through. So you have to wait for, it's whatever. Like, I don't know how to describe it. You have to, you sit on the side of the road and you have to wait for cars to go through. It can only take a certain time.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're good.
And apparently, if you sit on one side of the bridge and put your car in neutral, a child will push it across to the other side.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, but pause for a second. A child pushing a car across a bridge.
It says a child, so I'm assuming multiple.
That's a strong-ass child.
It's not as really heavy as you'd think, but I think a child would have a little bit of trouble pushing a car.
It says child, so it could be multiple children. I don't know.
Maybe it's like a superhero child.
Oh my god.
A child that easily
quinine.
Like Superman's child or something like that.
Probably.
I think that's actually a thing.
I mean, probably.
So there are technically 3 legends surrounding this bridge that could be the reason why this bridge is haunted. I keep putting air quotes on everything.
Which nobody's gonna be able to see but us.
Yeah, no one can see it.
There was... Okay, one legend is a single unwed mother threw her week-old child off the bridge in fear of being shamed and ostracized by the community.
Jesus.
The second legend is which could be the reason for children pushing it to safety, would be an elementary school bus lost control during a flood and was sent careening over the side.
Okay.
And then one that's kind of random that feeds nothing into the legend is a group of teenagers struck a man fishing on the bridge during an afternoon joyride. The only thing that does make sense is that legend says the man's apparition appears near the area.
I think the first 2 are great theories. Whatever.
Yeah.
What did you call them?
Legends.
Legends, yeah.
Yeah.
The last one is kind of no.
Just it's near a high school and a college. Someone might have murdered a man.
That is very true.
Yeah, this poor old man is just like...
Oh, I'm gonna go fishing today. Oh god, I'm dead. Uh-oh.
But apparently...
Exactly what he said, oh god, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Is that voice still left?
God dang it.
That better be what you say when you die, because I swear. Just, Jamie goes yeet, and, oh God, I'm dead! Oh, who knew?
Who knew?
Oh, knowing me, that's totally something that would happen. Oh God, I'm dead.
Good job. And knowing us, it'll probably be me. I will most likely be the cause.
Yes.
It will be me.
It'll be you, or it's gonna be Lemon.
Yeah.
Or it'll be us together. Like,
yeah.
we'll be doing something stupid.
And I'm somehow gonna be caught in the middle of it.
Yep. Probably.
Yeah.
It'll be after a Crazy 8 match.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently another one that feeds into the first one with the week-old child, that witnesses supposedly can hear a sound that sounds like a baby struggling to breathe.
That's creepy.
From the water below.
That's creepy.
All right, then.
Maybe it's just the water.
Maybe it's just the water.
I mean, but, okay, how many people know what a baby drowning sounds like? Like,
put a baby underwater.
That is fair.
Typically, probably not very loud.
Well, yeah.
No, knowing from, training how drownings actually work, they're typically pretty silent. You can just there's no screaming for help. The problem is that water blocks most sounds.
Yeah.
From at least the surface. You can kind of hear it from in the water, but, like, if you're screaming in the water, you're not able to hear anything above it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you're on land, you're not going to hear anything.
Yes.
Except for, like...
So now, I'm just going to throw out a question. Do you guys believe in, like, the crybaby bridges? I know Ditto doesn't.
I think they're...
No.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
I'd be down.
I'd be down.
Go explore some spooky bridges and, be spooked.
I think she was more asking if you believe in the lore of them, not if you'd be down to go eating off of one.
Hey, I didn't say that. I did not say that. Putting words in my mouth I didn't say. Not say that. I'm not gonna go eat myself off a bridge.
Ditto looks so unamused.
You'd be down to go eat yourself off a bridge, and that's what you'd say afterward. You'd be like, oh, damn, I'm dead now.
Oh, my God.
Ah, shit. God damn it.
Well, who knew?
One of you is going to kill me. I just know it's going to happen.
Yes, one of us will.
Anyway,
and
continue.
The other main bridge I wanted to talk about is something that I know Poppy has an interest in, which is the old Alton Bridge down in Texas.
Yeet. Demon?
Demon.
Shut up.
If you don't watch BuzzFeed Unsolved, you will not get that joke. But if you do get that joke, you'll understand what we mean.
Okay,
so
BuzzFeed Unsolved is gonna sue us. They're gonna be like these annoying girls.
Okay, so the old Alton Bridge is down in Alton, Texas. It is also known as the Goatman's Bridge. Or, if you have watched BuzzFeed Unsolved, it is also known as Shane and Ryan's Bridge. Because they have claimed it, apparently. It is a iron truss bridge built in 18-something.
The 1800s.
It's the 18-somethings. That's where I want to go. There
again are multiple legends surrounding this bridge as to why this demon resides there.
Mom?
I'm not responding to that. Which is one, Satanists have carried out rituals which open the gateway for this demon to pass through.
Which is completely reasonable.
Yes, considering the towns around it stopped selling cats because
creepy.
they have found so many sacrificed cats in the woods around the bridge.
So annoying. I mean, like, and the thing is, it's not actual like Satanists. It's just these dumbass kids probably doing it that are like, we're sacrificing cats to Satan. Like, yeah, especially like in towns like that, like the very religious, like around the very religious towns who blame everything on fucking Satanists, and I'm over here like, not that many people like Satan.
Honestly. Not saying I'm a Satanist, you guys, but you get my point.
I mean, fuck Satan, eat pizza, am I right? But it's bothersome because, like, yeah, there are, reported things of, people trying to open portals and stuff like that.
Which I would not recommend. Do not open a portal.
Yeah, if anything of our PSA today is do not open portals. But it's still a thing of, like, most people, like, oh, something bad is happening, something scary is happening, it's a Satanist. Like, no.
Blame it on a Satanist. Which is everybody's literally go-to thing, just blame it on a Satanist.
Yeah. Anything bad happens, oh, it's a Satanist. Like, anyway, but go on, that's my...
What we're saying is don't create portals. PSA.
There is a second legend that says a African American goat farmer was lynched off the side of the bridge by some angry Klansmen, which then returned from the dead as the Goat Man, which many believe is impossible because there is no historical record of this goat farmer ever existing. But I mean, it's the 1800s-ish, maybe. Don't know, 1800s, probably 1900s. And, like...
Good job researching.
Yeah. But, I mean, the thing is, too, also, like, back then, they didn't really, like, keep records of...
Yeah, like, birth records.
Because, yeah, like, they didn't think that those people were worthy enough to even keep records for. It didn't, and yeah, there were some lynchings that were, like, that were public affairs that were done by the town. But usually, like, a lot of people just were assholes and, like, grabbed people that they wanted to lynch and then did it themselves. It wasn't a thing of, like, the town sentenced you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like you're in Salem and the town sentenced you to being a witch and then you freaking die. You burn on a stake. That's not how lynchings work.
Yeah, I was going to say, they didn't do that either way back in Salem. They hung people.
You know what I mean. I'm making a point. Let me make my point.
Those are historical facts that you just distorted.
Let me make my distorted circles. Anyway, continue, Serena. Sorry.
People have reported a growling voice telling them to get off the bridge if they stay on it for too long. And apparently one person stayed after being told and then was flipped off the railing.
He yeeted himself
into the water below.
Get off me lawn.
Get off me.
Get off my bridge.
I mean, I'd be protective of a bridge too if it was mine. Stupid people walking over it thinking I'm a Satanist.
Yeah.
We're cracking more jokes than giving actual facts of the case.
Welcome to the podcast.
What do you mean? Facts? What are those?
That is true. People have also reported hearing hooves following them on the bridge as if being chased off. Which, I mean, if it's like an old bridge with like a wooden floor, anything is gonna sound like something.
Bridges
like
creak.
Walking on it.
Yeah.
Bridges creak.
It's like if you're running off, you might hear an echo of your own footstep.
Yeah, so like, I call BS on that because mainly, like you said, it's like if you're running off the bridge because you heard something, it's like, get off my bridge.
Get off the bridge. What weirdo, get off me bridge.
But yeah, like you said, you might hear, like, if it's dark and it's silent, you're gonna hear maybe the echo of your own footsteps. You're not gonna hear freaking hooves chasing you across the bridge.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I think you also have to think about people's, like, minds and kind of, they're looking for something, so they're making, like, so, because, like, obviously footsteps sound a little different than, like, hoof prints, like, hoof marks, but, like, if you're looking for something to be there, your mind can kind of trick you to be like, okay.
Yep.
Your mind
yeah, like, you can...
hearing.
Mhm.
Your mind will screw with you until you believe in that thing being there, and then you're scared. Been there, done that. Sleep paralysis is a mother.
But I mean, then again, we weren't there, so we don't, we can't say definitively it's, like, debunked or not, because, we weren't there. So.
Road trip down to Texas.
Anyway, moving on to, is that it for that one, or was there more you had for the old Alton hoof print weirdo Goatman Bridge?
Weirdo Goatman.
That's the name on the sign there.
The weirdo Goatman Bridge.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
I do have one more fact, but then after this, I'd like to open it up to, like, other discussions, like other haunted places or whatever.
Sure.
Is that people have reported seeing, like, yellow eyes from the forest below. So,
well, that's creepy.
Again, we
like
can't really
dog?
that. I don't.
Woof.
Just people just reported yellow eyes. I don't like
staring at them, probably.
Weird that in the woods there'd be animals.
Yeah, true. But animal eyeshine is distinctly different from, like, a color. Animal eyeshine is white. And, I mean, sure, some cats can look a little blue, but if they're saying yellow, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I wasn't there, so I can't, like, argue on the fact, but eyeshine does look completely different than glowing eyes. Just saying.
I was thinking they were saying a light to the dog's eyes, and which is sometimes yellow, depending.
Yeah, but could a dog reach the bridge, though?
Well, it could be a coyote or a goat.
What, Serena?
I said, well, it said, like, the surrounding woods. So, not just on the bridge.
That's true. I don't know, man. No thanks. I would not like eyes to stare at me while I walk across a creepy bridge. No thanks. I already feel like I'm being watched enough as is. No thanks.
Yeah.
Alright. Are we opening the floor to other discussions?
Opening to other discussions.
Anybody else have something they want to, any creepy places they want to talk about?
I mean, if I had known that we were, like, I would have grabbed a place or something, but, I mean, I could talk about Cuba Road. I've been to that road several times.
Yeah, go for it. I don't actually know what that is, so.
Oh, really?
Please,
yeah. Like, I haven't heard of that.
Okay. So, well, basically, it's a road, but it's not just, like, it's Cuba Road, it's a really old road. It's not around here, the vicinity of here, but it's in this area. But it's not just a road, it's, like, surrounded by, like, a woodland area and stuff, and it has many different, like, intersections that go across Cuba Road and stuff, and it goes pretty far, too. Like, you can go from, like, one area to another, between it, but, so the road itself is supposed to be haunted, and then there's a haunted cemetery, which, like I said, if I had come prepared, I didn't know we were going to do this, but there's a cemetery that's on the road as well that's very popular. It's very, very famous.
Road trip.
Yeah, road trip.
Yeah, well, I've been to it a couple times. It's really interesting because the area around it, whether or not it's haunted, the area around it feels really weirdly intense. Because like I said, it's surrounded by woods, but there's a bunch of really old, like, big houses that are like surrounding it. And it's quite interesting because there's like all these houses around, but then you kind of feel like you're alone and like in this kind of forest. So it's a really weird feeling. And going there, and it's the road. I guess it's supposed to be there's supposed to be like a fork where like two parts of the road kind of go off, and one goes off of Cuba Road and one continues on to Cuba Road. If that makes sense, like it kind of no one can see what I'm doing, but you guys can. But it like. Well, I was trying to kind of like mimic it with my hands, and no one else can see but you guys. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so it kind of, when it forks one road, like it turns into a different road, and then there's like one that continues on. Anyway, at the fork, I guess if you drive on there like enough, you go like it switches roads or something where I guess you're supposed to be on Cuba Road, and then you think you're driving on Cuba Road, but it switches, and then you end up being on the other road, and you see like this weird like ghost car or something that's supposed to like be like a bad omen if you see it.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. This was, I think I was in 8th grade the first time I went down there. So like I said, the kind of information on it is a little foggy. But yeah, there's a bunch of like farm area around there and a bunch of like kind of reportedly haunted farms and stuff. And so like the whole area is just like super charged with energy. Because like there's a cemetery, the road's supposed to be haunted, like the farm area and stuff kind of around there is haunted. And so like I guess there's like a bunch of different things where you can see like different apparitions on the road, and like walking out of the cemetery and whatnot.
I think I've heard about this.
Well, it's fairly popular around our area. Hang on. Let me look
I heard about it when I was in, oh my god, where was I? I don't know, but my class took a field trip to one of our state capital, because you guys will know what I'm talking about. And when I was there, I was with a group of friends, and we were walking around like this town. Again, this was a couple years ago, so you have to ignore that I don't remember. But we were walking around the town.
I'm like,
and
that's the name.
My friend started telling me this story, and I was like, okay, that's creepy. Like, you might know who I'm talking about, but maybe you won't. But he kept telling me about it, and I was like, okay, how do you know this? And he goes, I've been there. And, like, I think there was a part of the story that if you stop on the road, this is kind of like back what happened, Serena, with the bridge. If you stop on the road, like, big hands come on the back of your window and just kind of shove you forward. I remember him saying that, and it was super creepy. I was like, oh my god, that's so creepy.
Yeah. Here, I can read this. Along the railway is a small graveyard called White Cemetery, which dates back to the 1820s, but no record exists to say when it started to gain attention of those interested in the unexplained. For many years, it has been reported haunted by eerie white globes of light that have been seen to hover and float along the tombstones. Witnesses to these anomalies have ranged from teenagers to average passers-by, many of whom have gone to the local police and described not only the glowing lights, but hazy figures too. The lights are said to sometimes float along to the cemetery, drift over the fence, and then glide out of the surface into the road. The hazy human-like figures have been spotted along the edge of the fence and near the lingering line of the trees. They tend to appear and vanish at will.
Creepy.
Oh yeah. Most stories, those seem to include Cuba Road itself. Tales involve a phantom black automobile that appears near the cemetery and an old house that seems to vanish nearby. The house is believed to have actually existed many years ago, and legends say that it was burned down in mysterious circumstances. It has been reportedly spotted, and often by the police, who have no idea that the house no longer exists. Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and apparently, like Chicago gangsters used to like kind of be in the area during Prohibition, and so they used to like do crime there. Yeah, because like apparently the car is like really old, like it's from like the 20s.
It's the 20s.
Yeah.
That's creepy though.
But it's a really I've been to the cemetery, and it's like I said, it's a really interesting feeling because it is very populated with people, but it's also really woodsy. And so it's like this dark road, and there's like all these little like, spots of houses and stuff, and people are around, but you feel kind of completely isolated. It's quite strange. I mean, I can't say personally, that we actually saw like any ghosts there or anything. I've gone there a couple times. Um, and I mean, but it's just the feeling there is eerie in itself. And being in the cemetery, because it is. I mean, we went during kind of night-ish. So we probably weren't supposed to be there because it was like past dark, but whatever.
That's when the spooks come out.
Yeah, that's when the spooks come. Yeah, you gotta find those spooks. But yeah, it was weird because even though we didn't see any ghosts, even the person I was with, Poppy, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Who like literally doesn't believe in like ghosts and stuff, said it felt weird, and it was a strange place to be, especially in the area.
Well, especially at dark too, I bet.
Oh yeah, and also it feels like you're kind of in a different area, especially living, a little further from that area. Like you're so used to being in this area, and then when you kind of go there, it feels like a whole other woodsy type of back in time type of thing, especially since the houses are so old and they're so big and pretty. You don't really feel that around here, so it's actually really interesting.
That's creepy.
But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that story before, but I didn't remember what it was until you were like, "Oh yeah, this happened," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like a lot of people around here like know of the story or like at least heard of it because it's a very popular road, and it's one of those kind of roads that a lot of people have to take for work, to get to the two different sides. Um, so it's interesting, to say the least.
What you said you felt a feeling when you were there. What did that feeling? You may have mentioned this, and I'm just not realizing it. What did that feeling feel like?
Well, like I said, it was weird because you kind of felt very isolated, and so you kind of were like, you kind of kept like kind of trying to like look around to see other people, or like kind of, I don't want to like describe it as like darkness closing in, but like it was because it was so dark, and there's so much like kind of woodsy area, I guess. It did kind of it really felt like you were like alone with a strange kind of like tingly weird, like you kind of were super alert.
Mm.
The person I had went with too was just like kept, kind of looking around going, what the hell. We also drove. Yeah, we were in the cemetery, but it's a small cemetery. So it didn't take that long at all to kind of walk back and forth a couple times. But we had also like drove around and stuff, and it's one of those places where like if you don't have a GPS on and you don't know where you're going, you will get lost and you will, get stuck in front of someone's estate.
Oh,
and just driving down the roads, it's the weirdest feeling because you don't, like, you can't see anything other than what's in front of your headlights. There's no, like, lamps or, street lights or anything there.
Oh, that's a creepy image.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those where, like, it's pitch black other than, like, and because there are estates, too, they're, like, the houses are set back, so, like, there's, like, the gate and the road, but then, like, the house isn't right, like, right there. So it's, like, you have, like, a little kind of maybe glowing light in the distance, but then, like, it's trees and a road, and it's black. And it's one of those things where, like, you pass by something and you kind of have to, like, double take and look, because you're like, wait, did I see something? Did I see someone standing there? Like, it's really weird, especially when you pass by the fields. It's like there's nothing there, but, like, either your mind, like, your eyes start playing tricks on you, or, like, it's a weird feeling because, like, you kind of you can kind of, like, see stuff off in the distance and you're like, wait, what?
I've been through a couple states that were like that, and you just see corn roads. You guys kind of know where I'm talking about. You just see corn roads for miles, and your brain, if it's pitch black outside, will start playing tricks on you with those corn roads.
Yeah.
Touching the corn much. Great movie, by the way. Creepy movie, but great movie. I have a place that is one of my favorite places that I really, really like talking about, and I've done a lot of research, not for this episode, but in previous talks that I've had with people, and I actually did this for a presentation for my speech class. So that was fun. So my favorite haunted place is the Queen Mary, because it's cool. Old boats and whatnot. But yeah, so the Queen Mary is, again, I don't have the notes in front of me, so kind of just going off memory here because I'm too lazy to look it up. I believe it was twice the size of the Titanic, if I'm remembering correctly. I think so. Yeah. So basically, in the short run, because I'm not going to explain all of this because I'm way too tired and way too lazy to do that. So the Queen Mary was following a smaller ship. It was a warship, so it was following the smaller ship, and the smaller ship was distracting enemy subs, so it wouldn't, like, hit them or, like, whatever, enemy stuff, war stuff. So the Queen Mary caught up to the ship and basically cut it in half, literally, like, just straight down the middle of the ship, and the crew members aboard either fell into the water or were killed on impact. And in the where the propellers are on the Queen Mary is where you can hear supposedly the screams of the dead sailors. Which was always something I found super creepy, and I really, really want to go there to experience what it's like to be in a place that's, like, quote-unquote haunted, without going to, like, the Lizzie Borden house, because that place just, no thanks. If you don't know what that is, go look it up, because I'm not explaining that.
To be quite honest with you, I would rather go to the Lizzie Borden house than the Queen Mary, but that's just me, just because, like, I don't really know if I believe the Lizzie Borden house is haunted, but that's just me.
That's the same with, like, Bobby Mackey's and stuff. I don't think that place is haunted. Because there ain't nothing there. Yeah, there's, like, a portal to hell, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like, just briefly without tangenting off, I feel like just, like, the Lizzie Borden people only think it's haunted because of the stigma around it and the story.
Which is, if you don't know the story, go watch the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode of it, because we're not explaining it.
Yeah, or maybe not, like, we're not like promoting BuzzFeed Unsolved. Just saying.
Totally not promoting. We are not paid to do this.
Fans of it. But but yeah, the Ghost Adventures show did an episode on it, and that was a really interesting episode on the Queen Mary.
I might have to go watch that after this.
Really good. I do believe that, if I remember correctly, that they're saying over by like where the propellers like open up or whatever, like some dude was like working on something or whatever and slipped and then like fell into them.
That's more creepier than I like to imagine.
Yeah, where it was like a complete accident or something. Because yeah, they go into, you know, like the casualties of like war and stuff, but they also go into you know, just the casualties of working on a ship and whatnot.
Can you imagine how many people were on that ship when it basically rammed its way through the smaller sub? Like, Jesus.
Yeah, and it's probably one of those things too where you don't, like, that's probably not how they expected to go. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, of course nobody expects to be freaking run over by twice the size of the Titanic ship.
Well, that's my point. But I mean, you know,
hey, that is a personal dream of mine. Do not ruin that.
We'll start a GoFundMe page for you so you can go do that.
Yeah.
But you know, like in the grand scheme of like war and stuff, you know, people, you know, especially young boys kind of go out there, you know, it's like, if we're gonna die, it's gonna be like some grand, you know, like for our country way, and they're just getting run over by a ship. Like,
literally. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, in that type of energy and that type of whoopsie scenario, you know, it's gotta
scenario.
It's a whoopsie scenario.
You're a whoopsie scenario.
You know, gotta.
I tripped, fell into the propeller.
Me too.
Accurate.
Is that how you're picturing that type of scenario?
Ditto, is that how you're picturing the sailors to sound on that ship?
Of course.
Of course.
But yeah, that type of scenario's got to leave an impact on, you know, the ship as a whole and the energy kind of around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I agree with you on that interesting part of it.
Yeah, I think just that story in general, it's so sad, and like it's probably not how those sailors expected to go out. They probably expected to like die for their country and not be freaking run over by a ship that was 4 times their size.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
The nautical equivalent of roadkill.
Christ. Oh my God.
Ditto coming with the comments today.
Literally, you're gonna have sailors come haunt your ass now.
Yeah, I'm fucked. It's okay. I'm already going to hell. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It's fine. The ghosts are gonna follow you to hell.
Probably.
Yeah. Carpool.
If ghosts will follow anyone to hell, it will be Ditto.
Yes.
Speaking of that, since we're kind of on that topic, what do you guys think about ghost? Fuck, what's the name of these people? People who go looking for ghost stuff.
Oh, the ghost chasers?
Well, yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Amateur
you know,
ghost
stuff like that.
hunters.
Like, yeah,
Let me
ghost
get on my
whatever.
ectoplasm scanner. It cost me $30,000 and totally doesn't look like I glued together an old cell phone.
Okay, Dean Winchester.
You shut up. You're not to open your mouth again. Anyway, my point. You know, those type of people. You know, especially when. Because anyone can be an amateur, you know, ghost hunter. We could go out and, you know, go find a fucking place and start scanning around for shit. But what do you think about, like, you know, like ghosts, I guess, like following you home or, you know, that type of thing? Because I've always wanted to be, like, a ghost hunter, you know.
I thought you were going to say I always wanted to be followed home by a ghost.
Fuck that shit. No, that's the entire point of, like, what I'm saying. Like, no, I have not like actually gone out and really done that because like I do not want to be followed home like that shit, like especially because I don't know, you don't know what pisses a ghost off, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people
I know what pisses a ghost off, because I have ghosts
probably
in my house.
exists, to be completely honest with you. Probably existed.
Well, yeah, but like it's a lot of people who go ghost hunting, you know, do things to piss the ghost off so that they can talk to them.
Right.
And that's kind of
Shane.
Do not get me started on Shane. Like, I really like him, but he pisses me the fuck off when he does that shit. I'm just shut up.
Me and Poppy already, or me and, I am Poppy, Jesus Christ. Me and Serena already had this conversation. It's been a long day, you guys.
Oh, it has.
You don't even know who you are or who you are.
Some days it's just like that, my friend.
Honestly, yeah. No, but yeah, like it's, I don't know, like that's like my one greatest fear, because like I have always wanted to go like investigate like old asylums and stuff, because that's like the one thing that gets like my spooky juices going is asylums. Like, I love it.
Spooky juices? Are you serious?
Yes, spooky juices.
Jesus Christ.
My spooky juices. But yeah, Jesus Christ. I have always wanted to go like to an old asylum or whatever, but that's like the one thing that's stopping me, because like I don't want to be fucking followed home. I mean, Poppy, I know you have ghosts in your house, but still.
2 of them.
I feel like, harking back to Busted Unsolved, if Ryan and Shane had done so much shit and have not been followed home by ghosts yet,
we're fine.
You can't be.
They're purposely waiting. They're purposely waiting for Lemon to come, and that way they can follow her home.
Basically, no, like there are so many reports of it happening. And thing is, though, I truly believe that probably Shane has been followed home. He's just a dumbass who like chalks off a fucking like entire vase falling over to be like, I don't know, maybe it's the wind. Like, he's so obvious.
Great Shane impression.
The cat was all the way across the room.
Yeah, like I love Shane, but like sometimes like, and I don't know, personally I also believe that like there are people who are supposed to be like, who are supposed to see spirits and supposed to be kind of inept at feeling them and stuff, and they're, yes, it's Poppy's raising her hand.
No one saw that, but I really like put my hand up in the air just then.
But yeah, and then there's some people like my dad. Like, I have seen like spirits. I have seen ghosts. Poppy, I've told you some of these stories before.
Yep.
And my father has just been like completely oblivious. Hasn't seen anything not there. And so I think
you should Lemon. You should share your story from the other night.
Oh, I mean, I have totally much more interesting stories than that one, but
Well, since we're on the subject of ghosts.
Yeah. I can't tell you the story about the one night that I stayed at. It wasn't really a cottage, but a haunted summer home. It's actually a rather interesting story, but so I was about 9. And I mean, I believed in ghosts. I was still kind of, I loved ghosts and stuff, but I didn't really like watch Ghost Adventures and whatnot, so like I didn't really know about them too much. But my dad's friend from the VA was going on vacation, and so he's like, hey, can you watch our house? And it was like, it was somewhere up in kind of like the edge of Wisconsin, in Illinois. And so it was like, yeah, it had this beautiful lake and everything, and it was kind of surrounded by woods, and it was really, really pretty. And, but...
Sounds nice right about now.
Right? Only it was haunted, and I couldn't stay the fucking night. So, maybe not that exact house, but...
Sure.
But so, what ended up happening was we ended up getting there, me and my mom got there, because my dad had already been there that morning, and then we got there around, like, dinner time. And so it was kind of like, it was just dusk. We had gotten there, and my dad was kind of showing us around the place, and it, like I said, it was a pretty place. It was kind of small, but it wasn't small. It was really pretty, and so the important thing was, so the door opened up to kind of like the living room area, and there was like a TV and then a couch, and then like on turning to your right, yeah, that'd be right. Turning to your right was the kitchen, and so basically there was the living room, another little room that was like off to the kitchen, and like you went down the kitchen where the hallway was, and that led to the rest of the house. So like you had to go through the kitchen to get to the rest of the house, and then right off the kitchen was the like back patio door, and so they had like a little hot tub there, and so it was kind of dark by this point. So Mom was like, "You stay in the house," and my dad was gonna go show her like the backyard and the hot tub and the lake area and stuff. So I'm sitting in the house, and I'm just not having it. Like I don't, and like I said, I was 9, so I couldn't exactly tell you what specifically it was, but I do remember like not wanting to be in the house by myself at all, not enjoying the feeling of being in the house. And I just remember like sitting in the kitchen, kind of leaning against the counter, being like, "What's taking them so long?" And they hadn't been out there like that long, really at all. But I was just like, "Oh, it's taking too long. Like it's been forever." So I kind of went out there and I was like, "Hey, Mom, can you like come back in?" Unbeknownst to me, apparently, my mom wasn't feeling right either, and so when they were sitting out there, she kind of was like, she's like, I kept seeing something over like kind of in the corner by the hot tub, and apparently my dad's like, oh yeah, like they have dogs, and the dogs always bark there for no reason, and they don't know why the dogs just stand there barking at the hot tub, like it's a hot tub. And
that's
so,
creepy.
and my mom's just like,
that's the first sign to GTFO.
basically, no, yeah, and my mom was like, you didn't fucking tell us this earlier, like she's like, no, we're going in. So she's like, my daughter's in the house, like, and you're like what? So they went in, and so I was like, thank the fuck God, because I was getting really nervous. And so we were kind of, doing stuff, putting, like food in, because we were going to be there for like the whole weekend and stuff. So we were kind of putting some food in the kitchen and making, because it was dinner time too, so we were making kind of stuff. And so there was this like, it was like a guest room, I guess. But like I said, so it was like right off the kitchen. And like if you stood in the kitchen like doorway frame, you could turn your head and see into the room. And so my dad was in that room. He was unpacking kind of some of his stuff because he was going to be there longer. I think he was going to be there the whole week, and we were just going to stay the weekend because I had something going on. I don't know. And so he was in there unpacking all this stuff. And like I said, so you had to go through the kitchen to get to the other side of the house, which was like a hallway. Mm-hmm. And so my mom's in the kitchen. She's doing stuff like at the sink. And I see this like figure go by the back of like in the hallway where you had to go through the kitchen area.
Nope.
So like literally it was like it looked like someone was like shuffling by the like door frame of the kitchen, and it had big shoulders and it was big, but it was like a black figure basically, and I thought it was my dad.
Apparition.
Basically, yeah, but like, and it didn't feel like bad per se or anything, but like I thought it was my dad, and so like I didn't really think too much of it till like I turned and I was like, well no, my dad's over. Like I turned my head and I'm like, no, he's here. Maybe I just saw something. So my mom, like a minute later, was like, oh hey, can you go get him? Can you go get your dad for something or whatever? And I'm like, okay. And I went to go like into the room, and she's like, no, he's that way. Like, where are you going? He's that way. And I'm like, no, Mom, he's in the room. I'm looking at him. And so she's like, well, no. She's like, no, I just saw him pass. And I'm like, no, that wasn't him. And like we both like clocked each other, and we're like, that's strange, because like I just kind of thought I was imagining it, but when she said it, and thought that was him too, and I'm like, no, like look, he's in this room. And so she went kind of around the corner and was like, that's weird. Your father's in this little guest area room. And so she kind of walked in, she was, talking to him or whatever, and he was completely like not there. He was folding some type of like clothes or whatever, but he wasn't really folding them. Like he was just kind of like playing with his hands. It was really strange, and he was not really there. And my mom's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm, folding the clothes. And she's like, no, you're not. Like, because there wasn't like anything in the drawer, and he kind of was just like, he had some clothes in his hands, but he wasn't really doing anything with them. And so it was really kind of strange, and he was just kind of like not there. And so I was like, hey, why don't you? it was. And like the thing was, like I said, I was 9, so I was kind of like, and I wasn't really like, I didn't know too much about ghosts and stuff, so like I didn't know what this was going on, you know. So I was kind of like, oh, maybe he's just, you know, not feeling well, or, you know, and my mom was just like, let's go sit into the living room. Let's go. So she kind of took him out, and, you know, he sat down on the chair and was kind of like watching TV, but like you could tell he just was not there. It was kind of like a glaze over type of thing. And my mom's like, well, this is weird. All right.
Well, duh.
Well, yeah, and we were kind of like trying to figure, because we're like, what, you know, like what's going on, and it's kind of one of those things where like, you know, when you're in the situation, you're kind of like, well, we're you know, we're supposed to be here for the whole weekend, weird things are happening right off the bat, and you know, you're kind of like, well, what do you do in that situation, you know, and so, you know, we had made food and whatnot, and then, I don't quite remember, you know, the periods of time, but we were going to bed. I don't quite remember. I think it was because I was too scared, because what was supposed to be happening was my dad was going to get the bed because he was going to be sleeping there the whole week, and me and my mom would share the couch because she's like really tiny, so I think there was like a pull-out like couch or whatever. And I think if I remember correctly, I was like too scared to go to bed by myself or whatever, because and we're late people anyway, so we were up watching TV and stuff, so it was probably around 11 or 12, and so we were kind of like watching TV or whatever, and I vividly remember feeling like I was about to jump out of my skin. Like I remember being so like strung, and I couldn't figure out why, because like and it wasn't like a thing of like I was scared, I just like I could feel it in my skin, like I was so like
you're on edge,
electrically charged. Yeah, like it was a quite strange like experience. I remember just being like and so, and like I said, my dad's a pretty sleeper. Like when he's tired, he gets knocked out. So, you know, he can kind of acting weird all that afternoon, and then he kind of just fell asleep. My mom is a pretty late person too, so she kind of was up with me for a little bit, but she had also fallen asleep, and I just could not sleep. And I was, you know, trying to watch TV and stuff, but I vividly remember being so like kind of antsy, and just I could feel something. And so then I about died because something started like going off. No, like something literally like it sounded like cabinets and shit were opening in the kitchen.
Nope.
And no, like literally I about had a fucking heart attack, and it woke my mom up because like and mom's like, oh, you know, is he in the kitchen? And I'm like, no, mom, he is right, like, cause he was sitting on the chair next to me or whatever, and I'm like, no, he's right here, like he's snoring, you can see him. And my mom kind of looked at me because she kind of was in like the area where you could kind of see into the kitchen, but not really. So she kind of looked at me like she didn't want to look in the kitchen, and it just got louder and louder. Like it sounded like this, whatever this was making a fucking 4-course meal for like an army. Like it was so, and I swear to God, like I am not making this up. It was so loud, I was like going insane. And so what ended up happening was it got to the point where like either there was someone in the kitchen or like something was going on. And so we're like, well, we can't just, and my mom's like, well, I can't just sit here. And of course, you know, me being little 9-year-old me, I'm just like, no, you're gonna fucking die, don't go in there. So the next best thing my mom thinks of is literally turning her head to the kitchen and going, stop it. I thought I thought my life was gonna end that day. Like I am not joking. I thought we were all gonna die because like it instantly stopped. No, she was so fed up. She's like, stop it. I'm like, you've done it now. You've angered it. Like it instantly stopped, and I'm like, we're all gonna die. It's coming for us. And it was like it was distinct too, where like you could tell like the fridge was opening. You know what I'm saying? Like you could hear that sound of the fridge. This is the cabinet. Hear glasses clanking around. It was the strangest experience, honestly, ever. And needless to say, I couldn't stay the night. I think it was like 4 a.m. when my mom's like, yeah, well, we can't stay here. Like, because after that, I obviously wasn't about to go to bed. But, like, we were going to get murdered in our sleep. And I was just like, nah. So my mom's like, well, she's not getting any sleep. I'm not getting any sleep after this. Like, and so, yeah, it was like 4.
Yeah, I just like the fact that your mom was just like, you know what, fuck this,
Stop it! Like,
fuck off!
I could pull my mom in here and be like, Mom, did you do that? Like, no, honestly, I was so angry at her too because I'm like, you did it now. We're gonna die. Like,
you probably have a ghost following you from that house now.
Honestly? No, but like, and the thing was too, like, it's like I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know much about ghosts and stuff, but I'm like, I know like Ghost 101 is to not anger the fucking thing. So like, I was just like, you've done it, fucking now. And so yeah, I think it was like 4 a.m. and my mom was like, no. she packed up our stuff in the car and we hightailed it out of there because she couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep, and I literally, our mom had said 5 minutes after we pulled out of the driveway, you fell asleep. I was so tired and so strong, and like the thing is, like, I had never like felt anything like that before, and I vividly remember like feeling it. And my dad stayed there the entire week. And I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you did that, because one, he didn't hear any of it. He didn't know at all what was going on. And I'm just like, what?
Maybe
like,
it was just made to haunt you and your mom.
Yeah, it was something. My dad's kind of always been like that though, because it was another situation with my dad's friend, where I saw him in my dad's house, and my dad, nope. So I think it's just, yeah, I don't know, like maybe it's just a thing of like, you know, certain people are kind of not meant to see that, or like kind of more oblivious to it. But yeah, that was my, like, if I die tomorrow, that's my one ghost story. Like, I mean, I have others, but that was the one where like I know I saw something. Like, I know that there was clanking in that fucking kitchen and he was making dinner for his demon army. For the God.
Dinner for his demon army.
It was, yeah, it was quite intense, and I can vividly still see this like this apparition, shadow, whatever you want to call it, like in my mind. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things. But
now that we're sharing ghost stories, does anybody else have one before
turn. But I'm interested in this turn.
Yeah, before I tell my couple of ghost stories. Does anybody else want to go?
Yeah, I don't have any ghost stories, so I'm.
Ditto, do you have anything?
Nope.
I love how it's just like.
Nope.
Everyone's just me too, like,
until like he comes in with like just like some random shit.
Yeah. Something that angers some sailor ghost, and now it's gonna drag him to hell.
You'll just hear me screaming as I get dragged off screen by invisible hands. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh god. So I guess I'll go with my couple of ghost stories that I have here. So mind you, this all happened in my house. Which most of you have seen my house except for Ditto. So
and the people listening to this.
Yeah, and the people listening to this. So I'm sitting in my living room. So my house is 2 stories, so it's the basement and then the upstairs where all of, like, the kitchen is and the bedrooms are and, like, all that stuff. So I'm
the living quarters.
The living quarters, exactly. So I'm sitting upstairs. I am sitting on my couch in my corner, curled up, on YouTube, I think. I don't remember. And I'm like watching stuff, and I don't know, I was watching a series or something, and I don't think anybody was up. I think it was just me, because everyone had went to bed already, and I was still up because I just couldn't sleep. And
see, that makes it creepier already.
Yep, and I look up from my laptop for about 2 seconds, and down my hallway, right where our bedrooms are, is a freaking figure, straight up, about, I don't know, 5'8", standing in that hallway.
Fuck that. No. Yeah, fuck that.
I like looked away, and I was like, "Who? To what now? The hell?"
Yeah, when you kind of do that double take, yeah.
Yeah, and then I looked back, and he was still there, and I was like, "Oh shit! Oh god! Okay, don't murder me." And then I went to rub my eyes, and I like resumed my video because I had paused it because I thought I heard something. And then I resumed my video, and I looked up again, and he was gone. And I was like, "Okay, screw that." So that's ghost story number 1. Ghost story number 2 is I think this was last year, so 2019 for reference, y'all. In case we watch this in the future. So 2019, I don't remember the exact day, but I was getting ready to go downstairs to our basement to get something, and I think everybody was gone. I think my brother was at school and my parents were at work. And I'm standing at the top of our stairwell, and legit, suddenly I just get pushed, and I legit fall down the stairs. Something
fuck that. I would be like, Mom, I gotta move.
Something pushed me, and I was like, okay. Okay. No thanks. I also should mention this. There's two spirits that live in my house. One of them, obviously, the one I just talked about, is super freaking aggressive. Like, almost to the point where it's not great. And the other one is a little girl, probably the age of like 8 or 9, maybe, I think. And literally, her purpose is to just make sure I'm happy, which is like the sweetest thing.
At least you have a nice like little ghost that's.
I don't know. It's hard to tell their ages. For me, honestly, because like I don't know. But yeah, she's like 8 or 9, and she just wants me to be happy, and she wants me to be creative, which I was like, okay, fine, whatever, I can do that. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you're like, I'm cool with that.
As long as you don't push me down freaking stairs.
I mean, yeah, that would be like rule number 1 there.
Ghost
like,
101. And my
Ghost
final
friendship
one.
Rule number 1.
What?
Ghost friendship rule number 1.
Yeah.
Don't push me down the stairs.
Yeah, don't push me down the stairs.
And my final creepy ghost story that I have is a mistake. I'm gonna put that out there right now. A mistake that I will never make again in my life. I'm sitting in my room, as you guys can see right now. I don't know, this was a couple years ago I did this, and I regret it. And I decided...
What, did you open a demon portal in your room?
No, I decided to do
I would be so pissed at you if you opened a demon portal in your room. Let me tell you, Poppy.
So I was sitting on my bed, and I decided, I'm gonna see if I can like do a EVP session and see if I get anything.
Poppy!
Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2.
I told you.
Mistake number 2 was asking the thing in my room what it was doing here.
Oh no.
It replied back with "Get out." And I basically said "F this," closed the app, deleted it, and chucked my phone across the room.
I'd be like, look, no, this is my room.
Yeah,
fuck that.
So yeah, it was an app on my phone that I decided to download because I was bored and I didn't know what else to do. And yeah, the first phrase that was said to me was "Get out." And I was like, okay.
I mean,
nope,
probably randomly generated.
Yeah.
But it freaked me out to the point where I'm never using an EVP again.
Well, yeah.
The thing is, so on that note, I will say for our dear listeners, please don't like go amateur ghost hunting.
Don't do what I did.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just download some stupid app and go to some place that's haunted, you don't know what you're getting and what you're getting yourself into. Not only spiritual wise, but the physical here too. Don't break into places. Don't trash property and
don't
go on
Poppy.
Yeah. Don't open demon portals in your bedroom.
The whole point of this episode.
Yeah. If you know what you're doing, good, and if but even if you do know what you're doing, you can never be too sure. Yeah, you can never be too careful. I mean, And
you want to go punking around graveyards, that's up to you.
I know from experience, like, well, yeah, I mean, I know from experience, I've been, to several haunted graveyards, and, as a practicing Wiccan, I always have to be careful. I always have to be careful in what I'm doing, and I do truly think that, like, the fact that there's a witch, to a sensitive and another sensitive living in this house, I do think that my house is like a passing for some spirits and whatnot. And even then, like, I can't be too sure, and and meddling with that type of shit and stuff. So just don't do it. just
don't do it.
Just, I mean,
don't do what I did.
Just don't be dumb and pull a poppy.
Yeah. Also, do not mess around with Ouija boards. Making that clear now. Do not mess around with Ouija boards.
That is one thing I will never do.
That is the one thing. That is the one thing I will never do.
That is what I refuse to do. Fuck that.
I will do
not
like
mess with Ouija boards,
and
please.
stuff, but like I will not do Ouija boards. Like I can scrying, I'm fine with. I can do like necromancy spells and shit as long as I'm protected. But like no, fuck Ouija boards.
Do not mess with Ouija boards. Do not ask the spirit what they're doing here and then get a reply that says get out. Don't pull a poppy, please. Don't be much as an idiot as I was.
Yeah.
17-year-old Poppy did not know any better. 20-year-old Poppy knows a little bit better, but still wants to do it again.
And the thing is, too, yeah, like, I mean, I will say, like, as fun as it is to watch, BuzzFeed Unsolved, Shane and Ryan are total, like, airheads when it comes to that, and they don't know what they're doing. So, like, don't act like them, please. I mean, I really love them as humans, but watching that sometimes really angers me because, Shane's just over here like, fucking scratch me, demon, and I'm just like,
scratch me.
And they also don't exactly have the right equipment. And the thing is, too, if you're going to, if you're going to be a serious ghost hunter, you have to get serious ghost hunting stuff. And
even
if
though
you don't have
silly.
Well, yeah, and if you don't have said serious ghost hunting stuff, then maybe you shouldn't be, downloading an app and being like, fuck you, demons.
Don't pull a poppy.
But, yeah. Don't.
The lesson of this episode, guys, don't be a poppy.
Don't be dumb.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of lessons and PSAs in
That's
this.
just general sentiment, don't be dumb.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily just apply to ghost hunting.
Just don't be dumb.
I mean, just don't be dumb.
Don't
Don't do what I did. Don't ask a demon what they're doing here and get a reply. Just close your app immediately and delete it and check your phone across the room.
I mean, maybe not the phone checking part because you don't want to break your phone, but...
Well, true. I mean, my phone had a case on it, so it was fine, but...
Nah, that shit haunted. Get rid of it.
I learned my lesson from that.
Just use it out the fucking window. Your mom comes up, why is your phone in the driveway? It's haunted, Mom.
Why is your phone in the garden? A reason?
The ghost told me to do it.
The ghost told me to do it.
Well,
if your friend told you to jump off a bridge, would you?
Well, I mean...
Maybe. There was a
lemon.
There was a lemming thing on that. Where another full circle.
Lemming. Full circle.
There was a lemming like meme that someone did where our mom was like, if your friend told you not to jump off that cliff, would you? And he's like, no, Mom, I would always jump off the cliff. Anyway, speaking of lemmings in full circle, I guess we could briefly bring up the Powder Blue Bridge. I actually didn't do...
Did you mean the almost thumbnail for this episode?
Yes, the Powder Blue Bridge.
Except in case you guys are wondering, my brother does our thumbnails, so courtesy of him for that. Kiddo, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you doing? cannons in his head. It's that sailor dude just making his brain.
Knocking around a few bolts. Powder Blue Bridge. What is the do you want to explain that, Serena?
This is more of a lemon story. I heard it from lemon.
No, sorry, the mother that angered the spirit came in. Spirit. I mean, I could get her in here to confirm that story if you want. But anyway, so yeah, the Powder Blue Bridge. So now, like I said, I heard this a while ago. I didn't check up on what the actual complete facts of this case are. But there was this bridge somewhere that was like painted black, and so of course, everyone was like, let's jump off this bridge because it's melancholy. And so basically, people kept jumping off of it and committing suicide on it to say they're, like committing suicide on this black bridge. It was named something to the effect of like that it was black. And so the city was like, well, we can't keep having these people jump off bridges, especially this one. So let's paint it powder blue because that makes people happy. And so, yes, they painted it powder blue, and in hopes that, people would not jump off it and think happy thoughts when they cross over this bridge. And of course that didn't work because a lot of people were just like...
It was ironic to jump off.
Yeah, like, basically what started happening, a bunch of, teens and stuff were like, I'm going to go, like, writing suicide notes, or like, I'm going to go jump off the powder blue bridge, and then doing it. So yeah, it was ironic and fun to have this powder blue bridge that melancholy teens are committing suicide off of. And I guess apparently it didn't work, so they went back to a regular color or something. Like, if I remember correctly in the story, they were like, well, which I don't know why they do, but I think it was because at that point people were jumping off of it just to say they were jumping off of the powder blue bridge. So I think maybe the town was like, we fucked up, let's fix it now. So I don't know after they changed the color what happened, but yeah. So
there's a powder blue bridge story.
Yeah, powder blue bridges. Woo!
That I couldn't find a thumbnail for my brother to make it the thumbnail for this video.
Oh no. Really?
Yeah, he looked for it and he couldn't find it, and I was like, oh man, I kinda wanted a powder blue bridge to be the thumbnail for this. Anyway, with that story, we are running a bit low on time.
Yeah.
We have been going for a while, and I'm sure our listeners are probably bored as hell listening to our voices all the damn time. We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is the 3rd episode of the Witches Brew.
Woo!
So, woo! Yeah, made it this far. If you are following along to our endless amounts of conversation,
and bullying of each other.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it, and if you guys have made it this far, welcome.
Yeah, welcome to our fold.
Yes. So as always, I am Poppy.
I am Ditto.
I am Serena.
And I am Lemon, and this is the Witches Brew.
We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!